Tom.
Michael from Louisiana. You call it anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom.
Alistair from Tanzania.
Come on, Willie, bring it for us, would you?
Okay, I'll do it. Hello, Tom. This is Captain from the great state of Yeehaw!
Texas. Great to have you online.
Hey, Tom, this is Alistair from Tanzania, all the way in Africa.
Welcome, Alistair. Great to have you online with us.
Dallas in the house.
Dallas, Texas.
Hey, this is Lori from the state of Washington.
Hey, Lori.
I'm sorry, the state of Jefferson.
The state of Jefferson. Got you.
Hey, Tom, this is Eric McCary from the great state of Oklahoma.
Welcome.
Hello, all. It's Jeff Walling from the beautiful state of Colorado.
Welcome, Jeff.
Lamar from North Carolina.
Jerome from Anguilla, where the sun shines most of the year. How are you guys doing?
Welcome, Jerome. Great to have you online. Yeah, I know that guy.
Lamar from North Carolina.
Hey, Lamar. Hey, welcome. Fantastic. Anybody else want to say hello?
Anthony checking in. Well, Fred Flintstone from the Gulf Coast.
There you go, Fred. Welcome. That's right.
Hi there. Rui from Portugal.
Rui from Portugal. Welcome, Rui. Bienvenidos.
Thank you.
Did I always say it?
Yeah, that's right.
Here in the Uper land, Marquette, Michigan.
Marquette, Michigan. Home of the hockey land.
Oh yeah, don't you know?
Fantastic. Anybody else want to say hello before we get started? Don't be shy. Going once, going twice. Great having everybody online today. We'll go ahead and get started here, and thanks for all your great introductions from around the world. This is an exciting day for us. We're going to be moving, obviously, into a new year, but we're going to be taking a break over the weekend. For those that haven't heard on the presentations, we will be doing one last training presentation tonight. Tuesday night, we did the Miracle of Success. If you did not catch it, it was recorded, and it is on the YouTube channel, coinlifestyle.tv. Coinlifestyle.tv. Okay, so you can catch it there. It's up there. Tonight will be recorded as well, but we'd love for you to join us. We're going to talk about goal setting tonight, and we're going to be talking about how to. I'd ask everybody on Tuesday night that I wanted you to come up with 10 material or quantitative goals, like how much money or a new car or pay off your debt, how much debt is that. So we'd ask for everybody to work on 10 goals that are very meaningful to you. You might write down 25 if you can and then narrow it down to 10, but really find the meaningful goals in your life that you want to achieve in 2017. And then we're going to walk you through an exercise on how to make those goals a reality by creating a dream statement around them, and also certainly writing down 2 to 3 tasks per goal of things that you have to accomplish, the to-dos, if you will, of each goal. And so that'll be the exercise. It's actually a pretty simple goal-setting exercise that we're going to work on tonight. And I'm actually going to be sharing mine. I'm going to walk you through it, how I created it, my thoughts that I put into it. And then for those that want to go the extra step, you'll be able to build a dream board. We're going to talk about dream boards tonight. And those are just pictures of things you'd like to do, say, in the next 10 to 20 years, or whatever your time span is to wanting to retire and enjoy life, or just things you want to accomplish in the world. So we will be covering that tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And I hope you all will join in, because I know a lot of you intend to set goals each year, and then it just kind of gets past you and you don't. But this weekend is a great time for you to really set aside a couple hours and do something that is very meaningful for your life. It is statistically proven that millionaires set goals. And they say without a goal, you don't really have a target to aim at. And that's really what goals are, is they are targets. And you need that to really make, business happen. But I am so excited to be on with you today and to talk to you about digital currency. I've just seen, over the last couple weeks, a lot of people are kind of revisiting their existing businesses. They're starting to think about the new year. And I've been getting messages, probably more messages this month in the last couple weeks, of people that said, okay, I've been watching you all year. I'm ready to plug in. I want to check this out. And I've had some really great messages and some fantastic friends that were willing to put a couple hours into researching videos and just having huge aha moments about digital currency. Folks, we're at a time right now where we're heading into probably one of the fastest wealth creation periods in our business than you've ever seen in your lifetime. And I hope that all of you are prepared for it and open to it and open to receiving it, because the masses in 2017 are going to start learning about digital currency, probably through PayPal, probably through a couple other big announcements that we'll see in 2017. And those people are going to come back to you and say, man, I really don't want to buy Bitcoins at $1,000 a coin. What's that coin that you got at $8 or $10 a coin or $15 a coin? How can I get involved? And people are going to want to start getting involved. And, some of you are super lucky because you got in a year ago or 2 years ago when, we didn't even have the restaurant built and we were cooking food. I mean, it was definitely one of those things that it took a lot of courage to be involved in the last 2 years, to watch, the resistance that we've taken, the negative media that we've taken, but to become a company with 2.9 million people, where not only big individuals are enrolling with our company now, but we have companies enrolling with our company now. We have companies merging with us because they see the power of what we're doing. And I love the person that comes to me and that says, I saw negative media on the internet, Tom. I don't think I want to join this. I say, do you realize companies with 10 million people are joining our company? Do you realize organizations with 250,000 people are joining our company? They have lawyers and they have accountants and they've done due diligence more so than you will probably ever do on this company. And they're getting involved in it. And so I'm, probably getting a little ahead of myself, but I want you to know that the opportunity that you have today with OneCoin and OneLife, blockchain-based technology, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of the digital currencies that are out there, this will be one of the greatest opportunities that you see in your lifetime. And I'm not the only one saying that. We have people like Don Tapscott, who wrote the book, the new best-selling book called The Blockchain Revolution. He wrote the first best-selling book on the internet, and he says that the current blockchain revolution will be the single largest technology revolution that you see in your lifetime. It is going to change the face of business like nothing ever else, more so than the internet, because it's going to eliminate the middle person, and it's going to take the wealth away from the big corporations that typically could make money off of you. This new technology is going to take that ability away from them. And just like the ability of being able to buy an album directly from an artist without going through Tower Records or Virgin Records, I call it kind of the democratization of the middleman, where the middleman just kind of goes away, and ultimately we get connected with the end suppliers that want to sell to us directly. We'll be buying our energy from each other. We will be banking with each other. We will be buying products from each other directly without using banks. It's going to be really, really neat when you see what's going on. Your refrigerator is going to order groceries for you automatically. They will be delivered to your house via Amazon directly. You just think of all the things that are going on with blockchain-based technology. When you need a ride, there'll be a driver out on the blockchain that you can connect with directly. They'll be peer-reviewed. You won't need Uber anymore. When you need a property, and Miriam's got a rental property up in Toronto, you'll be able to rent it directly off the blockchain from her. She'll be able to see reviews on you to see if you're a good renter, and you'll be able to see if she's got a nice property. You won't have to pay Airbnb's fee anymore. You won't have to pay HomeAway's fee anymore. So when you think about what the blockchain is doing, is it's creating an opportunity for us to recapture some of the wealth that maybe we've lost to our bank. How many of you have lost wealth to a bank? Raise your hand. Anybody lost wealth to a bank? If your money's in the bank, you're losing wealth to a bank. You might as well raise your hand because they're not paying you anything. And after inflation, you're losing money. So we want to come across to you and let you know that there are two ways to own money today. There's two ways. You can own money that loses value systematically through a thing they call quantitative easing, or you can acquire money that appreciates in value because it's finite and it doesn't have quantitative easing. Okay, I got to come up with the opposite of quantitative easing so we have something to offset that horrible word. But a lot of people are like, what's quantitative easing? It has nothing to do with hemorrhoids, folks. It has to do with you losing value on your money. Every year they print more money. And I was telling a good friend of mine the other day, and he hadn't really thought about it, but we were talking about how the dollar has lost 40% of its value in 30 years. And he's like, how do you know that? And I'm like, well, it's because my gallon of milk has gone from $1.90 to $3.38 a gallon. That means the money I'm using to buy the milk has actually lost value. He says, well, that doesn't mean the price of milk's gone up. I said, no. It's cheaper today to produce milk than it was 30 years ago, guy. I mean, transportation, distribution, just-in-time management. Milk is cheaper today to produce than it was 30 years ago. But why does it cost twice as much? And that's the question that people go, yeah, I never really thought of that. I've always been told it was inflation. Well, you know what inflation is? It's a disguised word for quantitative easing. And you know what quantitative easing is? It's a complicated word that the average person doesn't understand to disguise depreciation of your currency. So, you know, the financial people have been really good at creating these complicated terms that have basically meant your money's losing value, and the retirement that you're working for, you're working harder for less. Raise your hand if you like working harder for less. Oh, no? Don't have any takers on that one. Good. All right, so we've got an exciting presentation to give you today. We're going to show you how you can acquire money that appreciates like Apple stock. How many of y'all would like the dollar bills that are sitting in your wallet to appreciate maybe like Apple stock did from the 90s on? Yeah, I know I would. Or EMC or any of these massive companies that had 100 to 1,000x returns. That's what we're looking at, folks. And I'm going to show you some exciting stuff today. I want to let you know that the biggest players are in this space already. And I'm going to share some videos with you today. I need to make sure my little sound system is on here so y'all can hear everything. But, the thoughts that we have to share with you today is kind of like, we've got something we want to teach you. We've got an exciting industry. People are making a lot of money. People are becoming millionaires in less than 12 months. Last time I checked, that was getting rich fast. I don't care what you say. But, when you can become worth $1 million or create a 7-figure income in less than 12 months, that's called getting rich fast. And I'm not against that. I'm completely open to it, and I hope you are too. But I want to share some videos with you, and I want to let you know kind of how the year began. And it began for me, really watching the Super Bowl was kind of the first big event, but it was I was sitting there watching this commercial, and I just got goosebumps all over. And I want to share that commercial with you because PayPal kind of set the tone for 2016 to let you know that something new was coming. And hopefully I won't blow you out here, but let me go to screen share real quick. This is a little 60-second commercial just to get the energy pumped up in the room so y'all can hear what PayPal's up to. And I think it's very, very exciting. But let me share my screen. There we go. And let's kick this on, see if it works. What's that mean? New money gets better every day. Does that mean it grows in value? Is that what they're inferring? And then they talk about old money is dead. Look at that bill they're showing there, Miriam. Isn't that just an insult? Isn't that terrible? They said that money's dead. What do you think? Uh-oh, dollar's dead too. So new money is it's all about people. And what they're saying there is it's peer-to-peer, meaning it's people-to-people that will be transacting business. I just like the dramatic ending, sorry. Anyway, so, when you think about what that was all about, when I saw that commercial in the Super Bowl, I said, uh-oh, PayPal is getting ready to get into the cryptocurrency game. And then it was about, let's say, 3 months later, a guy named Wences Carceris was invited to join the board of directors of PayPal. And Wences Carceris is one of the leading Bitcoin wallet creators in the world. So I think what we're going to anticipate is you're going to see PayPal getting into either the digital currency game, or they're going to be obviously getting involved in the digital currency some way, maybe with Bitcoin or maybe with their own coin. We don't know yet. But it'll be interesting to see what PayPal does. They're natural. 180 million people use PayPal around the world. So let me show you another company. You may be familiar with them. You may be not. You may not be. But let me share another video with you that will show you a company that is in the digital currency space in a very big way. And let's go right here. Anybody heard of Microsoft? They're doing big things as well in the space.
Right now, there are 2 billion people who don't have access to basic banking, but that is changing.
At Temenos, we use the Microsoft Cloud to provide banking to the millions and millions of people who need it but don't have access to it. With the Microsoft Cloud, we can enable a banker to travel to the most remote locations with nothing but a phone and a tablet.
More and more people are getting access to credit. Everywhere where there's a phone, you have a bank. So now a person is able to start a business and generate an income and employ somebody for the first time.
Did you hear that? Everywhere there's a phone, there's a bank. I love that statement.
And you can actually see the success. It's transforming our world.
The Microsoft Cloud helped us to bring banking to 10 million people in just 2 years. That's potentially 10 million new businesses.
Technology is about breaking down barriers, removing limitations so that every person has access to opportunity.
A small amount of money can change people's lives. It's very, very powerful.
So I just think that's cool. When you think about OneCoin and what they're doing, they're launching a mobile app where every person who has a mobile phone will be able to run their business and be their own bank all in one and have their own portfolio of coins. So those are just 2 videos that I wanted to share with you that kind of open your eyes that PayPal and Microsoft are both in the game. Of course, Microsoft is doing a beta with Ethereum, which is another blockchain-based currency. So for your knowledge, there's 3 currencies that are big in the space right now: Bitcoin, OneCoin, and Ethereum. OneCoin having the largest community and growing the fastest, and has the best price right now for you to get coins at. I think we're about the same price, somewhere in the same range as Ethereum right now. But we've got a couple digital currencies that are sitting at $7 and $8. And then, of course, we've got the market leader, which is 5 years older than the next 2, that's sitting at just under $1,000 per coin. So we have, we have an opportunity right now, folks, to create some fantastic wealth with digital currency. And I'm a big advocate of all 3 currencies, folks. So I'm not just one or the other. I think it's advisable to build a portfolio of currencies. I know Dubai coin launched. I know that Ecuador has its coin. I know that Senegal just launched a digital currency. I suspect Amazon will come out with a digital currency. So let me give you a really great example. Y'all are familiar with like frequent flyer miles. Virgin kind of has their own community and they have frequent flyer miles. Delta has their own community. United has their own community. Can we all agree that those are kind of social networks of people that like a certain airline? These are people that are loyal to an airline. I know my parents are very loyal to, I know they definitely fly Delta when they're in the States, but when they fly overseas, they use British Airways. They've used them quite a bit. But, when you think about a Delta and you go out there and you earn some frequent flyer miles for doing what? What do you have to do to get frequent flyer miles? Well, you have to fly in an airplane and kind of use energy getting on the airplane, and so you're actually mining frequent flyer miles. You know, when you actually fly an airplane, you are mining for every mile you fly, for every bit of energy that's spent on that airplane, you are earning frequent flyer miles. And so digital currency is actually very the same way. You can mine digital currency and you can actually earn coins for exerting energy or participating in a social networking community, like, for example, OneLife. But let's say that you've earned a bunch of frequent flyer miles with Delta. And right now, you know, your frequent flyer miles, if you hold on to them for a year, let's say you've got 20,000 frequent flyer miles, a year later, guess what they're worth? 20,000. Because they're not finite. They can keep printing them and printing them and printing them and expand their community. And the only one who benefits from that is who? Well, Delta, for the most part, or the airline that's issuing the frequent flyer miles. Now, imagine, Joby, that those frequent flyer miles are on the blockchain and there's only 20 million frequent flyer miles issued. Wouldn't it be cool to have a frequent flyer mile program that was issued on a blockchain where your frequent flyer miles could actually expand in value as the loyalty to the airline expanded? Okay, so when you think about the ability to have, say, only 20 million frequent flyer miles, and those are harvested or mined through people, and they can spin them back to the company, and the company can sell them back to the community, it becomes a commodity market of frequent flyer miles, or a tradable market of frequent flyer miles, where your frequent flyer miles could actually become worth more than what they currently are. Imagine if all of your frequent flyer miles multiplied times 20 in the last year or last 2 years, like our OneCoins have. Wouldn't that be cool to be able to go from 20,000 frequent flyer miles all the way to say, you know, 40,000 or 400,000? It'd be 400,000 if it was 20. But imagine having that ability. So that's just one example of blockchain-based technology. Imagine Procter & Gamble. A lot of people know that Procter & Gamble uses coupons. They're real big on couponing. But you know, what if they created their own blockchain of coupons, where those coupons actually became tenderable currency that could grow in value to where your 20-cent off coupon one day could be worth $4 off? Wouldn't that be neat? Wouldn't you be more loyal to Procter & Gamble in acquiring their coupons if you knew your coupons could actually expand in value and reduce the cost of your services? So these are just some examples of the technology that we're talking about and how it can increase wealth in your life and reduce your products and services. And, you know, digital currency, for the most part, as we like to say, is it's easier explained, or easier experienced than it is explained, because most people who get into digital currency, after about 15 minutes of signing up, getting their account, buying their package, and putting their tokens into mining, and getting their coins typically within the same day now, a lot of people are like, man, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. What do I do next? And that's a common occurrence, that people are like, okay, this isn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be. But I will tell you that in the beginning, people go through kind of a fear stage of, I don't really understand this, to a believing stage where they see other people, like the people that we have on board today, that are making money, creating wealth, that are committed to growing businesses. A lot of people that we have on the webinar today are committed educators of digital currency. They're actually making money as teachers of digital currency. And I think that's cool. I mean, I think being a 7-figure-a-year earner teacher is kind of fun. That's better than, you know, messing with chemicals or building houses or anything like that. I like the idea of just showing up somebody's house, Michael, giving them an education, and making some money by them getting involved in what we're doing. That sounds a little bit easier, and my fingernails still stay a little bit cleaner that way too. But let me jump around. I'll just say hello to a few people that I hadn't said hi to in a little while. Let me see who we've got on here. We've got a whole bunch of people today, so let me flip through all these panels. And I'll jump down and say hello to Jerome down there in Anguilla. Jerome, how are you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, not too bad. I just have a little sore throat, but I'm okay.
I called on you for a reason, because I know the cruise industry has probably an impact on the islands. Does the cruise industry have a big impact at where you're at?
Yes, but most of the cruise line goes to St. Martin. which is next door to us, about a 70-minute boat ride across, right? So most of the cruise lines go into St. Martin, and not really Anguilla, so to speak.
Very cool. So what I envision one day soon is once they release this mobile app, and I'm sitting on, let's say, 500,000 OneCoins or something like that, and so I've got about $4 million in buying power, and I'm like, okay, so I think I want to go to Anguilla and I want to see Jerome, and I get off the cruise ship. I think you said on another island. I probably can take a ferry over to your island. Is that the way it works?
Yes, correct.
And I might find out when I get to Anguilla, my phone pings and says that ABC Ferry Services will take OneCoin. Maybe Jerome's been busy down there and he's been talking to all the businesses about taking OneCoin because he knows OneCoin's it's going to have a 10 million person community. By the way, that's 25% the size of AARP, if you want to know how big 10 million people is. So that makes us a pretty sizable company. That's the projection of our next 12 months, is to hit 10 million people. But that would be very cool if we knew there was 30 or 40 businesses. Let's say there's 30 or 40 businesses in Anguilla that take OneCoin, but in St. Thomas, there's like 3 businesses. Where do you think I'm probably going to make my destination? I'm probably going to come over to Anguilla because I know there are businesses there that take OneCoin. And so,
and we have a lot of day trippers, that come over for a day, right, to Anguilla. So that would be a piece of cake, to use the OneCoins over here.
Very good. So tell us a little bit about what's got you excited about digital currency in general. I know that you've probably been watching videos and getting education, but I'd like to know what's got you excited about it, and number 2, how's it working out for you financially? Is it working for you?
Well, I got excited because I'm one of those persons that are in the banking system, and I don't love the bank at all, because I think the bank system is the biggest scam on earth, right? And they scam all of us, right?
I heard something interesting in St. Thomas when I was talking to all the taxi drivers in St. Thomas. They said a lot of them hold their money in cash. They don't trust the banks in St. Thomas. And a lot of them they hold their cash, outside of the banks. Is that the same in Anguilla? Do people trust the bank?
Yeah. No, they don't trust the bank. That's pretty much throughout the Caribbean, right? Because in Anguilla, we change banks, right? And actually, tomorrow, they're laying off about 40 employees, right, from this new bank they created in Anguilla. And all of us was kind of panicking because they wasn't sure, right, that they would have any money with the change of name and stuff like that. But now they changed the bank and then they laid off a bunch of people. So coming this January 2017, some of the bank workers that are presently working would not have a job, right? So that's what I'm saying. The bank is the biggest scam out there. And they charge so much ridiculous charges to send wire transfers, and every time you use the ATM, you gotta pay these ridiculous costs, and stuff, But I got excited because I knew about Bitcoin when Bitcoin started in 2009, and I keep beating myself up why I didn't put some money in it. But I wasn't convinced and I wasn't sure about Bitcoin at the time. But after getting into OneCoin now, and I realized that Bitcoin, right, the value is going up. Even lately here, it got up so much. I'm like, wow, if I had only invested like $1,000 into Bitcoin, I would have a lot of money today. So after I was introduced to OneCoin, I said, you know what, I'm not gonna miss this train, right? Because I took in the bank, right, for this home, we have a loan, and I want to get onto the bank as well. So this is why I'm excited to do OneCoin right now. And, to give my family a better life, because we want to come out to the bank and we want to do more as a family in terms of traveling, right, around the world, etc., and that's why I'm so excited. And, it's pretty much slow because, in the Caribbean, our people, right, they need to be educated on cryptocurrency, because some people don't really trust, right, cryptocurrency that you can use a phone to send payment, right? But after educating them, right, if you use PayPal, if you're using a credit card, it's pretty much the same thing, because you're trusting your bank, right, that ripping you off. But with cryptocurrency, right, you can send money for less, right, and in seconds, right? You don't have to take 3 to 5 days for your money to get to, you know, Australia or what, wherever you're sending it. You know, so, and I always find that it is ridiculous, right, for people to be paying a back home for all their lives. You know, and I really don't want to be part of that scam, you know, I want to get out. Right, so that's why I'm putting everything into one time. It's pretty much slow right now for us here, but it's just an education purpose. So I try to send all the information, right, I can get from you, right, and from everybody else, you know, sharing their testimonies online and wherever I can get videos, right, to share about OneCoin and just the whole cryptocurrency industry, right, and to get them to understand, right, that whether you want to use it now, right, you'll have to use it later on, right, so you might as well get educated now, right, so you don't have to go through that whole training session again, you know. So all I do is share information, right, some will, some won't, so what, keep it moving, right, and that's what I do. You know, if you're not interested, right, I'm going to move to the next one, right, and I share this with at least 5 to 10 persons a day, right, and that's what I'm doing, and I just keep following up. Some is very slow, you know, and getting the information, but I just keep sharing.
Right. I love it. He's using subliminal talking there. Y'all hear that? He says right. You say right. 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 I like it, man. I like your style. That's good. Right. I love it. Hey, you got that blockchain wallet on your telephone?
Yes, I do.
Can you pull it up real quick? Folks, what I want to do with Jerome right now is I want to do a bankless transaction, because since he brought up the topic of being able to send money to each other anywhere in the world with a click of a button, I wanted to show you all how we can do a bankless transaction. And let me give you, I'll give you a second to get set up there, but let me give you a little analogy. In 1990, Tim Berners-Lee brought TCP/IP, a technology, out to the world, and it was called the World Wide Web, and many of you all benefit from that today. Many of you all don't get lost anymore in the car. You don't have to use payphones anymore. So many of you shop online now, and so a lot of you have the opportunity to have a better life because of what Tim Berners-Lee invented with the World Wide Web, TCP/IP. That's the technology that made the internet possible. Now, most of you don't understand how TCP/IP works, but all of you use it every day because you access websites, Zoomcast, things like that, online banking. So it gives you an opportunity to improve your life. Well, in 2010, there was a guy by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto who is very similar to Tim Berners-Lee. He invented a technology that most people thought wasn't possible. And that technology is called blockchain-based technology. And Tim Berners-Lee invented a way for all of us to send emails to each other without using the post office. So the post office is synonymous with banks, okay? But what I'm about to do and show you how we use blockchain-based technology, I'm going to show you how we can actually conduct a transaction without using a bank. So I like to call this a bankless transaction, or a peer-to-peer transaction, where I'm going to send you money. Would you mind hitting your receive button and pulling up your QR code? Okay, I got it. Thanks. Okay, so I have his, his account number, and just scanned it right off his phone, and that's safe to do because the only thing that you can do is send people money when they do that. But let's just say I owe him $200 for services for something he did for me, consulting or whatever. And so would you turn up the volume on your phone then, Jerome?
Yes, all the way up.
Okay, so I've just hit send. Okay, I'm loading the transaction right now. And right now what's happening is there's a computer out on the blockchain network that's actually verifying the transaction to make sure that what the blockchain is, it's a big public balance sheet, like an accounting balance sheet that's spread across millions of computers around the world. And my bank balance is actually on those computers, and there's somebody out there that's verifying that I have the balance, the $200 to send Jerome. Now don't get your hopes up, Jerome. I knocked 2 zeros off. But, You should be able to check your balance. Hit the back arrow on your phone. And do you have a balance on there?
Yeah, I had a balance here.
Okay. You hold that up right there.
Hold on there.
And pull your screen down too. It'll load your transactions and refresh your screen. Just kind of thumb down on your screen. Doesn't make the beeps like it used to. I got to figure out why mine's not making a beep. It usually makes a beep.
Yeah. Can you see?
Yep, there it is. So click, okay, so $8 USD, and you'll see that, give it a second, it'll come in just a minute. But so what I've done is I've just sent Jerome $2 without using a bank. And that's something that is revolutionary, folks. That's like sending an email to somebody without using the post office. And I think a lot of you need to understand how disruptive that is. Let's think about another disruption that is in the same line of that. And I'll go over and talk to Mark Halpig about it. But thanks for being online with us. Thank you for showing us the islands. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love having you online. You have a happy first, and stay out of the way because I know the fireworks down there are probably a little bit more dangerous than the average place, aren't they?
Oh yeah, we gotta have a lot of fireworks.
I was in Panama for a New Year's Eve one time, and they have a lot of homemade fireworks. You got to be real careful of. But yeah, fantastic having you online. Thanks, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Very good. So let me jump up to Mark Halbig, and I want to talk to Mark about an analogy. Where'd you go, Mark? I just saw you 2 seconds ago. There you are. Now you're walking.
Yep.
I can hear you, man. How are you doing?
Oh, can you? Fantastic. I was worried about that. That's why I hopped out to my car because my headset's always not so great.
You're crystal clear, man. Sounds great.
Wow. All right, fantastic.
Very good.
I hopped in here to the BMW to get on the broadcast sound, but if you can hear me, I don't need to turn it on. I'll just.
Very good. So, Mark, you've just let's pretend it's 1997. You just jumped into your car because your family wants you to go rent a video at Blockbuster. And, that times have kind of changed since then, haven't they? Blockbuster, a company called Netflix came along and cut the value chain of Blockbuster and basically put them out of business very, very quickly. And then Redbox came along and kind of sewed it up. Redbox. So let's think of the acronyms here when we think about the disruption of Blockbuster and what Netflix did. And for those that are outside of the country, Netflix, of course, is the online video rental, which I think everybody worldwide has access to now. But Blockbuster was a video rental store that we had in the United States that was like unstoppable. I mean, Wayne Huizenga bought the Miami Dolphins. I mean, the guy, so the Dolphins, I think he bought, or Tampa Bay, I can't remember which one.
He bought the
Marlins. Yeah. I mean, he was. Just
right.
Super, super rich. And of course, we saw what happened to Blockbuster. It went down like the Titanic. And because he saw Netflix business model, and I guess they either didn't think it would work or it wasn't advisable for them to invest in. I don't know what happened. But Blockbuster, when you think about it, their big stores that they had is kind of synonymous with banks. I don't know how many of y'all people go into a bank lobby much anymore. I find I rarely ever go into a bank anymore. So it's kind of like, why do they need that expensive real estate? Well, they're using your money, by the way, to finance that real estate, just so you know, so they can pay their employees and stuff. But, when you think about the bank is synonymous with a Blockbuster store, the mobile app, I know I access my banking mostly via my mobile phone now with my PNC mobile app or my Wells Fargo app or Bank of America app or PayPal, and I access my banking that way. So that's kind of like synonymous with Netflix. So how do I get my services delivered to me now? I log on to Netflix, and that is synonymous with kind of our online banking, if you will. And then, of course, the Netflix machines or the Redbox machines are kind of synonymous with ATM machines. I was looking at the Bitcoin ATM finder today. In the United States, we're up to 967 ATM machines now in the United States that are actually registered. There's probably more than that, but 967. Do you know that's doubled in the last 12 months? So the number of ATM machines is starting to spread. And if we see that double or triple next year, all of a sudden we'll start. Most of the big cities I'm going to now have Bitcoin ATM machines. And I used one in Dallas when I was at the last Dallas conference to make a video. But Mark, I know that you're super passionate about. And by the way, Mark went out and bought a couple of those books that I recommended on Tuesday night. I think you got the one thing, and you got the 4 agreements. Is excellent, isn't it?
I can't recommend the 4 agreements any more than I already have. And just to show you how much I believe in it, I just went back to the bookstore today and bought another copy of it for a friend of mine who told me about his passion. I never knew about his passion until last night. We were out at Twin Peaks having a drink, and he said that he wants to start a boys and girls home because his 3 kids have another 3 siblings with the same mother, and one of them is already expelled out of school at 5 years old, kindergarten. How does that happen?
Wow.
Because you're getting no guidance. That's the difference between being a good parent and a bad parent. And I was like, this guy actually would have the passion to start up boys. And I mean, he's 38 years old, 39, goes to the gym religiously. He's been a single dad for 12 years. I was like, after I read the first 20 pages of that book inspired me so much. I was like, I can't not go put this in his hands to help him have a breakthrough in life. And so, yeah, that book's just in the first 20 pages inspired me so much that I needed to go out, buy a copy, and put it in somebody else's hands.
Yeah. By the way, Mark, they have a companion's book. It's called the Companion's Handbook, which actually it kind of reiterates some of the stuff he already talks about there, but I actually found the Companion's Handbook to be a next level of education on what he taught in there that I think you'll like. So if you find the Companion's Handbook as well, I don't know if you have to order it off Amazon. I never see it.
I saw one right beside it. It was like the fifth agreement or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was very good. The Companion's Handbook is very good. But awesome. So let's talk about the process of, there's 2 ways you can be involved in digital currency. You can be a passive, just say investor or miner or participant in digital currency. You could buy OneCoin or Bitcoin or Ethereum and just kind of sit on it and let it grow in value. And I'm going to show that one cool video after I talk to you and kind of show people, kind of give people a dream of what can happen, like having the ability to actually build that children's home is the difference between you maybe buying that big screen TV or making the decision to participate in digital currency, or buying that new car that you don't need, or participating in digital currency or whatever. And we're kind of pulling back maybe on, even 10% on some of the junk you spend money on throughout the year. I bet if I cut back on 10% of the unessential stuff I didn't need to spend money on, I bet I could save an extra $6,000 to $10,000 a year just on stuff I don't need. But let's talk about the 2 different ways. There's passive, that means you can just mine coins or acquire coins and build a portfolio. And then the other way is building a business. And I'd like you to talk about building a business and what are the best ways that you've seen to actually build a business in this industry.
Well, I found out that the world doesn't really revolve around a telephone call anymore. Telephone call takes up too much time, and that the world actually participates or communicates via either messenger or by text. Phone calls get in the way of our busy lifestyle, and so there are 2 different ways that you can approach cryptocurrency, but only one cryptocurrency has an affiliate marketing program that you can make commissions and overrides to make money in the present, and that is OneCoin. So if that's what you want to do, then maybe you might want to listen to me for a little bit. I have kind of come up with my own strategy on